Hi, I'm Caroline, and I am the friend that you are texting when you want to be talked in or talked out of buying something. What are the different ways that I can style it? How can I wear this item? Do I want it just because it's trendy? Is it actually ugly? And if it's ugly, is that in a bad way or in the good way where it's so ugly it's kind of cute? Welcome back to my channel. I'm sitting down and doing one of, if not my favorite thing to do today, which is give my opinion, and specifically my opinion about all things fashion. I've seen some people that I'm subscribed to and love to watch their videos make videos like this one where they ask their followers to send them items that they've been thinking about buying, but they don't know if they just want it because it's trendy, or if they did get it, how they would style it, XYZ. I always had a good time watching those videos. I figured it would be even more fun to make one and hopefully be helpful and give some actually good solid advice, and if that the least, to be somewhat entertaining. I like to think of myself as a reformed shopping addict who is a lot smarter and more intentional with my purchases. Now, a lot less buyer's remorse. You know, serious business is about to go down whenever the laptop gets pulled out. Starting us off with something I actually got multiple submissions about, which is the Doc Marten Mary Janes. Feels important to note that while I currently don't have any Doc Martens, I have owned 2 pairs of their boots in the past, and overall I feel like their shoes are incredible quality and really made to endure a lot of wear. A huge green flag for me, especially when it comes to shoe brands, is if I can look up on Depop, let's say, vintage versions of the shoe and they are still in pretty good overall condition and wearable, and they're from the 70s, 80s, 90s, it's always a good sign. When I shop, there are a few different things I keep in the back of my mind that I want to say now so that I'm not repeating myself throughout this video, because it's gonna go for everything. First, and arguably the most important question I ask myself is, if I had to wait to buy this item, let's say 6 months from now, would I still be as excited about this item and want it? And if the answer is no, something to think about. Also, if this item happens to be newer or more trendy at the moment, I like to buy trends too, alright? It's not always something I'm demonizing. Did you like the trend when you first saw it? Or was it something that you needed to really see other people wearing it to warm up and start to maybe fall for the marketing of the item? Again, something to think about. Price should never be the main driving factor of a purchase. Obviously, whether you can afford an item or not is kind of important, but just because something is cheap and it's cute doesn't mean that you should buy it. Also, all the ways that you can wear it. Take inventory of your closet before you buy something and really look at everything that you have and be like, how can I wear this item with all of the things already in my wardrobe? What seasons does it work for? Obviously, there are some things you're gonna buy that are only gonna work for certain seasons, but for me, it's always better if I can kind of sort of make it work for every single season. Also, dressing it up, dressing it down. I really love when an item like these Mary Janes can go with something like a pair of jeans, and it's not that they're dressing up or dressing down the jeans in any way. They just look good with the jeans. They kind of just add to the vibe that you're already going for with the outfit involving jeans. However, you could also wear them with something like a dress, and I don't think it's necessarily dressing up or dressing down the dress. It just also goes with the vibe of the dress. Once again, like, it's really, really versatile. We're what, 1-2 minutes into this video? I feel like I'm already being an instigator. It's not my fault that you have really good taste, and these are really cute. Moving on to the next item, which is the Apres Studio Black Bubble Mini Dress. Immediately, I'm thinking a few things when I look at this dress. One, the bubble silhouette, as much as I do like it, it has been very trendy recently, and mixed with my second point, which is that there's also excessive smocking on this dress, which has also been pretty trendy recently. I do think that, I mean, little black dresses have been a staple in closets for literal decades, if not centuries, no, decades now, and this feels like a kind of fun, fresh interpretation and play on that. When I look up this dress, it does say it's 100% cotton, which I love. It also does seem overall really well made and constructed. It does come in gingham, which, this might sound crazy leaving these lips because I have professed my love for gingham time and time again, but I don't actually like this dress that much in the gingham. It almost just feels, because gingham is also trendy right now, the bubble silhouette with the gingham and the smocking, it all is just like too current in a way that makes me a little bit nervous, especially with this price tag. But it being black is giving it some points for in the yes category. Could totally see this styled with some little Ballet Flats Mary Janes in the spring and summer, but also in the wintertime, depending on where you live. It's somewhere like me in California where we have fake seasons and fake winters with tights and a knee-high boot, a little jacket thrown over top. We're good to go. Next up is something that is, ooh, particularly exciting. I'm someone who views fragrance as a part of my outfit. It is the last thing I do when I'm getting dressed. I go over to put my perfume on and it's like that little extra cherry on top of my look. Ever since I was little, I have taken fragrance very seriously. Who remembers the Betsey Johnson perfume with the pink chandelier top? Do you know what I'm talking about? Because 9-year-old me did not play about that perfume. Throughout the years, my love of fragrance has never wavered. However, the type of fragrances I gravitate towards, and particularly the type of fragrance notes, has definitely evolved. Just like how I try not to be impulsive with my fashion purchases, I also don't like to be impulsive with my perfume purchases, especially when I'm committing to a full-size bottle, which is where the sponsor of this video comes into play, Sbur. Anyone who knows me is nodding along at the screen right now like, yes, exactly, because not only am I a fragrance freak, but I am particularly a portable size fragrance freak. Like, take the scent, pop it in my purse, in this case it's a basket bag, and I'm out the door. So Sbur is a fragrance subscription service that allows you to try out 1 or more designer perfumes a month for around $17. The fragrance vials are a lot cheaper than other rollerball or travel size perfumes that you can get at the store. Whether you're someone like me who likes to have a different scent for every different season, day to night, sometimes it just depends on my mood, honestly, or maybe you are the type of person who you want to have an everyday signature scent, but you haven't quite found that scent yet, Sbur is the perfect option. They have over 700 fragrances to choose from. There really is something and some combination of fragrance notes for everyone. Sbur show up! Extra milk from Dead Cool if you like a little or a lot of musk. Alright, this is for you. Notes of amber, bergamot, and white musk. Their magnetic little compact holders are so cute and so convenient as well. Lock, unlock. You can even open them and see this scent inside. Admittedly, I have been using this all week, so there's already a good little dent in it. Oh my god. Oh, you thought we were done though? No, I still have 3 other scents to share with you, and this is the one for all of my warm vanilla sugar girls, okay? Warm vanilla sugar when she went through puberty. Vanilla Sky by Skylar with notes of cappuccino, pure vanilla, and caramelized cedar. It's just cozy. Next up, we got Ooh La La by Nanette Lepore. It smells like how you feel when you say Ooh La La. It's very fresh and clean and floral, but not in the overpowering grandma floral way. Notes of champagne bubbles, pear sorbet, Parisian peony, cashmere wood, and tonka bean. Yeah. Speaking of Parisian peony, I belong in a garden in Paris come May 2025 wearing this scent, and if that doesn't happen, something extremely diabolical has occurred within the universe. Someone is out to get me. And Ooh La La by Nanette Lepore. And last, but certainly not least, I might have saved the best for last. I keep saying all of these are the best, but I mean it with this one. Good Habit by Ritual. Notes of whipped vanilla, coffee accord, sandalwood, praline, and sensual musk. Not just musk. Sensual musk. Smelling this makes me want to make plans with my friends this weekend just so I have an excuse to wear this out of the house and also bring it with me and make all my friends try it out as well. If my fashion style was a fragrance, it would smell like this. You can click the link in the description or scan the QR code on the screen. Yes, got a QR code for you. All right, I'm making this as easy as possible. Come on now. Not only did I get you the QR code, but I also got you a code, my code, Caroline T, to use at checkout for 55% off your first month at Sbur. Scan the QR code or use my code, Caroline T, at checkout for 55% off your first month at Sbur, which I think comes out to like $8. Okay. Yeah, sure. Are you kidding? Thank you so much to Sbur for partnering with me on this video. Truly a match made in heaven, and I hope you all enjoy your fragrance scent shopping. Looking through these submissions. Oh, okay. A pair of denim overalls. Do I get gray or light wash or black, Levi's or somewhere else? Help. If there was ever someone that you should be asking about where to get a good pair of overalls from, I would like to think it's me, the woman sitting in front of you right now wearing her favorite pair of denim overalls. Here's the thing with overalls, especially if you're someone who doesn't currently have a pair in your wardrobe and you've been wanting them, but you're maybe a bit nervous because you don't know how you would style them. Think of them like a pair of jeans. What wash and jeans do you usually gravitate towards? If it's more light wash, go with that. If it's the dark wash, go with that. Also think similarly with fit for this. Do you like a more slim, fitted, even high-waisted pair of jeans because they have overall versions of that? Or do you like something that's more baggy and low-waisted and loose, kind of like what I'm wearing and what I also prefer in jeans, which is why I happen to also love it with overalls? Go with that. If you are open and able to get your hands on a pair of vintage overalls, Levi's and the brand I'm actually wearing now, Big Mac, are hands down my favorite. Current new Levi's also has some really cool overall options that I have tried out and my friends have and really liked. Free People is another option that I really like too. I know I said that I don't like to harp on price, and then for every item so far I brought up the price, but when it comes to overalls, it really varies. I have a pair I got for 60 bucks from Depop. I have a pair I bought new from Levi's for $100, I think. These I got from the Rose Bowl flea market for $140, definitely on the higher end of the spectrum. However, the cost per wear I've gotten from these literally would be in the negatives at this point. Like the use and abuse and how ran through these overalls are by me. I mean, if you follow me, you know I cannot express my love enough for these, and I will die on the hill that I think anyone out there, if you don't have a pair of overalls, your wardrobe can only benefit from adding them. There really is a style to work for everyone and any sort of fashion aesthetic that you fall into, and not for nothing, but you also can throw things on top of them and wear them like pants. Getting the most for your money and the most wears. Have I sufficiently instigated you? Please say yes, because this is the one thing that I am truly passionate about. It's just kind of sad and making me rethink things, but you know what? It's who I am. I'm just gonna own it. Got a question about the gingham bloomer shorts, and that was it. There was no further specifying or photo that was sent to me. I'm gonna go out on a limb though and say they're talking about the red ruffled gingham bloomer shorts that have been all over my social media recently. How I feel about these gingham shorts is kind of how I alluded to feeling about that gingham bubble dress from earlier, which is that I think they're very, very cute, but I also think particularly these are very, very trendy. If not, we're getting into like micro trend territory. Feels shocking from me, I know, because I love gingham so fucking much. Like, that is my girl. That was my ride or die till the grave, till the end of time. But especially with these shorts, if you were to Google red gingham ruffled shorts right now, bloomer shorts, these would come up on every fast fashion site. I saw them on ASOS, I saw a version of them on PacSun, Shein, Amazon Fashion. I don't know the originator of these shorts, and if it was a smaller business or more sustainable business that all of these fast fashion companies are knocking off as they love to do, but when that tends to happen with items, that is when I really go, as cute as the item is, I think that this is something a year from now I will not be reaching for in my wardrobe. Another thing that is also a personal preference, and I only started doing more recently, which is I don't like to shop out of season if I can avoid it. And because we're going from the summer into the fall time, I can't really see a way to make these shorts work for the fall and winter. They really do feel spring and summery, which that's fine, but I just think more so if you were to wait 6 months until next spring and ask yourself if you wanted to buy these, you might feel a little bit differently. Now, I did get a lot of questions about bloomers in general, bloomer shorts, bloomer pants, where to get them, how to style them, which I'm about to get into because that is a whole different conversation. But I think with these, it's the fact that they aren't just bloomer shorts, but they have this very specific ruffled, ruched bloomer short silhouette, and then the fact that they're not just gingham, but they're this only red and white gingham colorway, because that's kind of the only way that I've seen them or even seen them available. That makes me feel like it should be a pass. As adorable as I do think they are. Getting into all of those other types of bloomers though, I mean, if you know me, you probably know that my white bloomer pants are one of the most worn things in my wardrobe. They truly are a closet staple for me. Huge shock, I know, I got my bloomers vintage, and that's unfortunately, because kind of inconveniently, really the only way that I've at least found bloomer pants. Bloomer shorts are kind of a different story because they've been trendier recently. Maybe with this fall and winter we're gonna see a push into bloomer pants, but I've seen anywhere from Old Navy to Free People to Doen all have varying types of bloomer shorts for varying different costs. As far as styling your bloomers goes, it's kind of the same for shorts and pants, which is that I look at my bloomer shorts how I would look at denim shorts and style them accordingly, and same with my bloomer pants and jeans. Next submission is, I've been eyeing the Tyler McGillivray horse tank on Lisa Says Ga, but I don't know if I would wear it enough. But I'm a horse girl and I want an asymmetrical tank, LMAO. It looks like this top is not just being sold on Lisa Says Ga, but it's actually an exclusive collab with Tyler McGillivray. I hope I'm saying that right, feel free to correct me if, once again, on the very slim off chance I am wrong, but they are a small sustainable designer. I kind of get annoyed when anything is an exclusive collab because then there's that push for you needing to buy it right now, or you might never have the chance to buy it again, and it really annoys me. The top is cute, I will say. I mean, I like, because when you said horse girl with a horse top. I feel like my mind goes to earthy tones because at least for any sort of vintage horse girl top I've come across, they always are those kind of brown tones and very literal interpretations of a horse that I personally find really off-putting, or it's some sort of like a little girl's top that usually has like pink sparkles on it, and this is none of the above. You know, the people who are really into thrifting, I might have even been this person at one point and sometimes still am, where when I see something new, I always go, ugh, I can find that secondhand. This, however, I don't actually know if I could find something similar to this secondhand. Black is always great because it goes with anything. I feel like I could wear this with jeans and cute little black ballet flats and it would be an outfit, or I could even dress this up with like a sleek maxi skirt, like a black maxi skirt, maybe even velvet, and some black knee-high boots. I don't know why I'm going for the all black right now. That just feels like a really cool look, and I can envision that for this top. I will say one of my downsides potentially for this top is that going into the fall and winter, I couldn't really envision this with a cardigan or a jacket thrown on top without completely losing the horse graphic, because it kind of takes up everything. So it layered over with might not be ideal. More of a warm weather top. I'm not opposed to that though. It just, it sucks though because it's an exclusive collab, so you probably can't wait till the spring and summer to buy it. This is why I fucking hate when they do this. A red knit bonnet for fall. I have been dying to commission a hand knitted one. Well, would you look at that? Somebody who has a red knit bonnet. It's actually technically crochet repurposed from old granny squares, but I have been waiting, dying, until it gets cold enough for me to finally wear this out. I think it's actually a great opportunity to potentially learn from my unfortunate mistake, which is that as much as I love this bonnet, I have had this for 2 years now and have never, not once worn it because I live in LA, where it does not get nearly cold enough for me to need a bonnet. So that being said, if you live somewhere where it actually does get cold and you do need actual winter wear to keep you warm, yes, 1000%, I think you should get a knit bonnet. They are so cute. I am envious of people who actually live somewhere cold enough where they can wear it. However, I do also hate actually cold weather, so this is sort of a like I might be the problem here situation. One thing I will note is red is quite the statement. You should make sure that the items that you have, specifically the winter coats and sweaters in your wardrobe, are things that you like how they look with red and you'll realistically want to wear and pair these together. Also, I would say be prepared to get some looks, because there's really no way that you can not get looks when you're wearing a red bonnet out into the world. If you're fine with that and you like attention like me, then go ahead. But if you prefer to maybe blend in, be a little more subtle, another thing to think about. I do want to shout out this one account I recently started following on Instagram. Whether you are someone who lives somewhere like me where it just doesn't get cold enough for you to confidently go out wearing a bonnet, or maybe you do live somewhere where it gets really cold but you don't love the full bonnet look, Bella, the account will be up on the screen, makes these incredible hand knit handkerchief, almost half bonnet looking headpieces. The photos can be much more descriptive than the whatever is coming out of my mouth right now. I am obsessed though. I love them. I cannot wait to hopefully get my hands on one soon and start wearing it. So just another potential option for some cool fall winter headwear for you. A ton of submissions about ponchos and if you should buy a poncho, where you can get a poncho, different ways to style a poncho. Here's the thing about ponchos that you are going to need to accept before getting your hands on one, which is that they fall into a category of fashion I mentioned a few times already in this video, which is unserious. They're kind of silly, but in a really cunty way. And if you like that, then I would say go ahead and get yourself a poncho. Another item, just comes another opportunity for me to tell you to try to get one secondhand and or vintage. However, with a poncho in particular, I don't know if you could even go into your nearest mall and find a poncho at any of the stores. It feels like you're gonna have a better chance going to your local thrift store. Although I most associate ponchos with the more either bohemian hippie style or a kind of art school teacher, which are both aesthetics I don't mind inhibiting when I am getting dressed. I also know it's not everybody's vibe, and there are some that feel a lot more kind of minimalistic and like sleek, I guess. I style my poncho with honestly jeans. It looks really cute, and some boots, or a little, I actually have them on right now, Ballet Flats. I can get how the unseriousness of a poncho can make it seem a little bit difficult to style, but the thing about it is even with something as basic as jeans, you're still gonna feel kind of silly in the poncho, and that's why it's important that you embrace it and you realize it's unserious, but also it can work with really anything that you want it to. Is this the point of the video where I just finally talk about ballet flats? Because I've already mentioned them multiple times in this video, and I also received multiple submissions about them. When it comes to ballet flats, I really fall into two contrasting ways of thinking, especially with you asking me about them, which is that on the one hand, if you have made it this far into the trend, which they have been trending for a while now, and you've yet to really feel pulled into buying them, maybe that's a sign that you think they're cute, but they're just not for you. However, on the other hand, if you've made it this long into the trend and you are still not sick of them and just being constantly inundated by people wearing ballet flats and you still like them and are open to trying them out, maybe that's a sign that you should. Because they've been trending for a while, there are so many different styles and variations and interpretations of ballet flats. I feel like you can really find a pair to fit your style if you want to, but also if you maybe just are like, I like the look of ballet flat, but I don't know how much they would work with my style. A Mary Jane, kind of mentioned earlier, would be a great alternative. Also, a loafer is like really cute and honestly feels like a classic if you haven't gotten your hands on a loafer yet. I would say maybe even try that before a ballet flat. A few different submissions about the brand Paloma Wool, just in general as a brand, and I will say I have never bought anything from Paloma Wool. I have been a fan of their work for a while now. I do really like their stuff. It is just not exactly cheap, and this happens to be a brand where for me, I feel like when I like something of theirs, I can find something secondhand or vintage that emulates enough of the vibe that I'm satisfied. There was one very specific submission about a belt from them called the Morris belt, and I want to use this as an example because I think the belt is super cute. I love how wide and thick it is and the big silver buckle on it. However, after literally scrolling on Depop for 2 minutes, I found a few different options of belts that give me that similar vibe for literally like a third or even a fourth of the price. What I like to do in this kind of situation is ask myself, all right, I have this more expensive version of an item that I want, but I can also find similar enough looking cheaper alternatives secondhand to the item. If I were to get one of these belts off of Depop, would it satiate the desire that I had when I saw this belt and what I wanted to get out of this belt? Could I get that through the cheaper alternative, or should I just save that money and invest it and eventually buying myself this more expensive version of this item? I have certain brands that I am ride or dies for, and they are more expensive, and I know that even if their items might seem ridiculously priced to other people, I'm such a fan of their work that it's worth it for me to buy those items. Paloma Wool just isn't one of those brands for me, so I can't really get it, but if you get it, I understand. Next up is a bit of a longer submission from one of you about this dress from Katarina Lou. I hope I'm pronouncing that right, and it is the Ollie Rose dress. You said it's incredible, but it feels kind of like a statement piece. I know I could also be neutral and everyday, but trying to think of different ways to style it. It's expensive, but dead stock vintage fabric, handmade by a small business, great quality, etc. And for context, you live in Queensland, Australia, where it's hot, humid weather most of the time. You love boots, vintage fashion. You work as a lawyer. Oh, okay. And you're in the office twice a week, so you like to buy pieces you can wear day to day and to work. Like you said yourself, the dress is expensive. It's 350 Australian dollars. I have no idea what that translates in US dollars. And I mean, like, beyond what I think, which I do think the dress is very cute, I've actually seen this before over the past couple of years. I've been aware of this brand because some of my mutuals actually have worn stuff from them, and I've always really liked their stuff. This is a big purchase though, so ultimately it is up to you, and you already know. I mean, the vintage, the dead stock, the great quality, the small designer. As far as styling goes, I found some really cool pictures on their website of, I would say most of these are more casual ways to style this dress, but I could also see this. I am not a lawyer and I have never worked in an office, so I'm not quite sure what the dress code is, but if you threw on a jacket or a like solid color blazer over this dress with a little ballet flat or a loafer or a boot, could really get into that. I am going to recommend to you something I've already recommended multiple times in this video, but I did some scrolling on Etsy and I found some vintage dresses from the 80s and the 90s that give off this sort of similar plaid maxi dress vibe. If you don't already have something like that, maybe try that first. Save yourself some money, see how much you style the dress, play around with it, and if you like it, then you can maybe go ahead and invest in this dress. I can't say I've ever spent this much money on a dress before. I have my realization relaxation par dresses, but if you know me, you know we're like $250, I think was the most. I do wear mine all of the time. It is maxi length, which I feel like if I'm spending a lot of money on a dress, I am always going to go with a maxi length because they are the most versatile and you can style them in so many different ways for so many different events and so many different seasons. I have thankfully never regretted investing into one of their dresses, but that is just me. I'm hoping that any of that was helpful. Boots, all of the boots, anything and everything about boots. It feels only right to end this video off with something that not only I received the most questions about, but also the thing that I probably feel the most passionate about, just like in life in general. What sneakers are to most people as an everyday shoe is what boots are for me as an everyday shoe. How to style boots is, I mean, look at any of my outfit videos I've done on YouTube, my outfit of the day is on TikTok, my Instagram photos, my outfit of the day Instagram stories. Forever and always, my one true love when it comes to boot brands is going to be Frye. I actually did receive some questions specifically about Frye and even someone wanting to know if I'd recommend buying their boots new directly from Frye's website, which I actually never have before. I have 2 pairs of Frye boots. Both I got secondhand off of The Real Real. If you haven't really been wanting a pair of Frye boots for that long and it is something you're only kind of thinking about as they've been getting more popular recently, I would say maybe try and thrift a pair that looks similar and nice. There's so many nice vintage leather boots that you can get your hands on. See how much you wear them and that, like, I sound like a broken record at this point, make the investment for the actual Frye boot later down the line. Before wrapping it up, I do quickly want to address lace-up boots because I got a lot of questions about those as well, and I'm flattered. I am honored that when people think of lace-up boots, they think of me. I have exactly 1 pair, and you've probably seen them, my brown lace-up boots. They are vintage. They're from the 70s. I spent literally 6 months scouring secondhand sites until I found them on Depop in my size. They were $250, but that is kind of, if you're wanting a vintage pair, around the price point, that's even on the lower end of the spectrum. It's so sick and twisted, but that is just the world that we live in. I knew I was gonna wear the boots a lot when I bought them, but I could have never anticipated just how much I would wear them and just how easy they actually are to style and just like integrate into my day-to-day outfits. The pair that I have definitely fit more into that kind of like boho 70s aesthetic, but there are so many cool lace-up boots, vintage or new, out there that fit a ton of different aesthetics. You gotta do some digging. I mean, can I wreck them enough? Did I make my stance on boots clear enough? I am a boot bitch till the end of time. If I ever get married someday, I want to wear a sexy vintage boot with my wedding dress. And so, I mean, on that note, and right on time, as it always is, the cue to wrap up this video is my camera battery flashing it's going to die. Should I just get a new camera battery at this point? Maybe that's what I should take away from this video. I planned on talking about like 10 more items, but as I always do, I can't ever shut the fuck up. It's one big yapathon in the camera battery. So I mean, if you liked this video and you'd want to maybe see more in the future, I have more items that I can talk about, so let me know. I do want to shout out and once again say a huge thank you to Sbur for working with me on this video. Literally match made in heaven, my dream partnership. If you want to check out Sbur, all of the links will be in the description box, and make sure to use my code CarolineT for 55% off your first month with Sbur. Like always, stay sexy, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!